Since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with sports. I never skipped a single day without going for a morning run, even when I was sick. I used to take my dog, Rocky, with me. I was very attached to him and loved playing with him. Usually, I'd run in the city park near where I lived. But lately, it started getting too crowded, and I didn't like that. So I began looking for another place until I found a different park, a bit farther away, but much bigger. It was next to a forest, but that didn't bother me since it was completely empty in the early mornings. One day, around 5:30 a.m., I woke up, got in my car, and took Rocky with me. It was foggy that day. When I arrived at the park, it was 6 a.m. The park was surrounded by wooden fencing, part of which was broken, so you could see the running path inside. I got out of the car, took off Rocky's leash, and we started running. It was freezing, so we both ran as fast as we could to warm up. After about 10 minutes, my body started to heat up and the weather felt amazing. The clouds looked beautiful, and the only sound was the wind, perfect for me since I love peace and quiet. But something strange caught my attention that morning. There were no birds singing. I was used to hearing birds in the other park, but here there was complete silence. I didn't think much of it. While running, Rocky got ahead of me and grabbed a stick. He ran back, wanting to play fetch, his favorite game. I threw it, and we kept playing for a while, both of us happy. Then suddenly, when I threw the stick farther than usual, he didn't chase it. Instead, he stood still, barking loudly in another direction. I was confused. I didn't see anything unusual, and it felt like we were the only ones there. I thought maybe he'd seen a cat or something. I tried to look, but the fog was too thick. I called him to fetch the stick, but he didn't respond, just kept barking fiercely. That worried me because he only barked like that when he sensed danger, so I started walking toward the stick to grab it myself. That's when Rocky began moving slowly behind me. I bent down to pick it up, and suddenly he bared his teeth, growling loudly, focused on the same spot again, ready to attack. I looked where he was staring, but the fog was too dense to see anything. And then I did the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. I ignored Rocky's warning. I should have left the park right away. That decision still haunts me. Suddenly, I heard footsteps coming from the same direction Rocky was fixated on. I tried to brush it off and said, "Quiet, Rocky, come on, let's just run a bit more before we go." I turned and started running again, ignoring his barking behind me. After a few moments, his barking grew louder, frantic, but I didn't look back. I thought he'd catch up to me as usual, but after a minute, I realized I couldn't hear him anymore. Total silence. I stopped and looked around. No sign of him. I called out, "Rocky? Where are you, Rocky?" I yelled several times, but there was no answer. He never ignored me like that before. Then I heard it. A dog's cry of pain. My heart dropped. I sprinted back to the last place I'd seen him, terrified that something had happened. When I got there, he wasn't there, just the stick lying on the ground exactly where I'd thrown it. I called again, frantically looking around the park until I suddenly heard barking coming from the forest nearby. I climbed over the wooden fence and started walking toward the sound, calling his name. As I went deeper, I kept hearing him bark. I thought maybe he'd chased a cat and gotten lost. But then, I saw something I'll never forget. Rocky was lying under a tree, covered in blood, dead. His golden fur had turned red and his head was smashed with a stone. I froze. Tears streamed down my face. I couldn't move. My legs wouldn't obey me. Then I heard another bark from behind me. That's when it hit me. That wasn't Rocky's bark I'd heard earlier. Rocky was dead. I turned around slowly, and what I saw made my blood turn cold. A man was standing near the trees, smiling. No, laughing in a horrifying way. His teeth were sharp like knives, and his eyes were blood red. I'd never been so terrified in my life. He didn't look human at all. Suddenly, he stopped laughing and started barking, like a dog. He held a large blood-stained rock in his hand, the same one he must have used to kill Rocky. Then he dropped to the ground, moving on all fours like an animal, and charged at me with terrifying speed. Without thinking, I ran. I ran as fast as I could. I tripped and fell while jumping over the fence, twisting my ankle, but I forced myself up and kept running until I reached my car. I jumped in, started the engine, and sped home. I stayed there the whole day, too scared to step outside.
The next day, I went to the police station and told them everything. When I finished, the officer told me I wasn't the first to report something like this. Several others had come before me, describing the exact same man and the same park. The police searched the entire place but found no one, and couldn't even locate the forest properly because it was too vast. That's when I realized the truth. No one can catch that man. And to this day, every night I have the same nightmare. I'm walking through the forest, and I find Rocky lying there, dead and soaked in blood, while that insane man sits nearby, eating his flesh.